What is good, my dudes? This is Lizzie Brown, and welcome to the Reeg the Streets Colorado video series. I am 1/3 of the academic throuple which makes up this project, and today we are going to be discussing the social implications and political aspects of homelessness, specifically looking at Denver's media coverage of such. We're going to be looking at how local broadcast stations present this issue, and we're going to look at how print represents this issue. We're going to be looking for whose stories are being told and whose voices are being excluded, all within the framing of sociology and political sociology, because we're trying to subvert some stuff here, and those are the tools that we need. So hang around, we're going to get into it, and we're going to start with the evolution of homelessness in the United States.
Once again, the city of Denver is trying to clean up homeless camps, carrying out what it calls encumbrance removals at 2 downtown locations this morning. Good afternoon.
Well, really, they said this is about public health and safety, deteriorating health conditions and public safety, and saying that when they came out here and inspect this area, that they found things like needles. Now, again, going over some of the details here, they say that they have been doing this for years. Something that they say that, is just, again, because of the public right of way.
There is an ordinance on the books that talks about that public right-of-ways must remain free of encumbrances and obstructions. So in that case, that is an ordinance that Public Works can enforce.
It's the same effect, regardless of what law you're using, it's the same effect. So why not just treat a situation humanely and address the problem of needing to pick up trash or things like that, and not displace people.
Now, again, the city says that they do this.
The city of Denver says grass management is the reason they've closed a park for 3 months. The city isn't addressing the dozens of homeless people forced out by that park's closure. Neighbors tell us they want the park in 5 Points cleaned up.
But homeless advocates say cleaned up is code for kick out. And tonight, both sides describe the impact of the park's closure to Denver 7's Ivan.
Sunny Lawson Park.
We came here because it's a communal place for us to meet.
Julian Begay has been living in and around this park for the last few months.
This right here is my cart with my stuff. This is what I have left after I lost my apartment. And sleeping bags, bedding, water, clothes. That's my whole.
Probably needs it over here, but over here doesn't need it. And yet they got it fenced off.
For Benjamin Dunning, an advocate with Denver Homeless Out Loud, it sounds like an excuse.
The people who've lived in this neighborhood for years, and because of gentrification can no longer to live in their houses and their apartments and stuff, but still cling to the area, become an
Don't mind the lighting change. I had to go make a Postmates delivery because mama still got to make that money for rent. Anyway, as we can see, large broadcast media, those narratives are not really speaking to those of everyday people. If anything, it leaves voices out. And so that has led a number of folks to take to civilian journalism and really using new media and engaging on larger platforms with large accessibility on YouTube. A couple examples. My favorite is the local channel. This dude's name, he goes by Liberty Freak TV.
Happy Fuck the Cops Day. Happy Fuck the Cops Day. So why are you searching him? Why are you going through his shit without asking him, without asking for consent?
He gave his permission because the property in his bag belongs to somebody else.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to answer that, though. I said thanks for taking the time to answer that. I appreciate you for that.
I don't have to.
Usually, I know you don't. That's why I said thank you very much for doing that, right?
That's silly, bro.
Man, I don't smoke cigarettes. If I had one, you'd have one. You know?
I
Hey,
smoke some coffee.
what's your name again?
Michael.
Michael.
T-set.
Michael.
The second.
Alrighty, man.
The minimum men.
My name's...
So there are two sociological concepts that really are crucial when we're about to talk about folks experiencing homelessness: deviance and class. So deviance is the whole idea of, it's literally everything outside of the norm. It makes me think of Portland. Portland's almost like a deviant city, except it's not. They just like to pretend because it's very gentrified. But everybody's going about claiming their own weirdness, doing their own thing, living outside of conventional standards. Class comes into play when we think about mobility. This whole idea in America is that you can live the American dream. You can achieve it. You can build it. That's fucking bullshit. I'm here to tell you, you can't become the next Bill Gates unless you got Bill Gates' daddy. So, this whole idea that we have of climbing the prestigious ladder and moving up out of our social class is extremely rare. And socialites, entertainment industry, another form of media, likes to make it seem accessible and that you can do it too. No. One in a million, brother man. Look at me. I'm not gonna be the next John Oliver because I'm not funny. But class and deviance are two forces keeping folks experiencing homelessness in this state. Like, American citizens aren't up in arms about this humanitarian crisis because we all believe and buy into this capitalist dream that we too can climb the social hierarchy and become the Bill Gates and everybody of a higher social standing. And everyone who's not trying to obtain that goal, there's something wrong with that. Talk about why political action and involvement is so crucial to subverting the standards that are in place at this moment and the politics that criminalize homelessness. But there was an article released by the Denver Post which is talking about what is needed to protect folks experiencing homelessness in Denver. And it really comes down to having 1,000 rooms, or at least room to house 1,000 folks in a hotel, in a motel, or a dorm. And in this article, one of the advocates for Denver Out Loud says that this needs to happen quickly, if not right now. That's not everywhere on, and that's not a narrative, and that's not a story that's being told right now. They're very focused on the economy, rebuilding, and making sure our small businesses are safe, but I would argue that it is more important to keep our neighbors safe first. Hello, and welcome to this installation of Karen's Corner. Welcome to my beautiful kitchen. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a little coronavirus treat. Stay tuned. Okay, and first you're going to want to whack up the oven to precisely 420 degrees, just, perfect baking temperature. So I got these directly from the trash can in my bathroom. There they are. Look at that. I'm going to give you guys that's how they do it these days. So the bacon fat is the good part. You want to put that right in the middle. Perfect. So if you do the math, you just get it in there. Sauce first on the bottom. So that'll be a very good base. And then you want to chunk in your beans. Make it look really, oh, this is going to be good. You see this? It's still got toilet paper on it. That's the good shit. Special ingredient, pepper. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to get too crazy. And that is that. Get lots of toilet paper, tell someone you love them, and have a blessed day. And to offer you guys some of my absolute favorite organizations and nonprofits that are working to combat this issue. We'll start on a national scale and then we'll get closer to home, okay? So the National Coalition for the Homeless is fantastic. They are advocating for political action and change. One of their main focuses is driving campaigns for folks experiencing homelessness to vote, because however important it is for us to vote, it's also important for us to make sure that folks experiencing homelessness have the resources that they need to make it to the polls as well, and to make sure that we can be allies in that state. And so going to very local, the Denver Homeless Out Loud program or nonprofit is fantastic. They work with Colorado Freedom Fund a lot lately, and they're very active in the news, and to say less, they're badasses. And then finally we have Father Woody's, which is a work study and office on campus which you can volunteer with. You can get a work study if that applies to you, and they work directly with the Father Woody's Haven for Hope, which is a shelter downtown, who does fantastic work. And lastly, Urban Peak is the only nonprofit in Denver that is focusing specifically on youth 15 to 24, pardon me. Ow. Business called Peak Thrift. All of their profits go back to Urban Peak and fund their program. So if you can go and find some rad gear over there for your next shindig, whenever the heck this thing is done, please check out that shop. It's fantastic, super fun, really nice folks. And to close, obviously there are people who are fighting this fight and have been fighting this fight for a very long time, but it is about gosh darn time to get everybody in on it, and for everybody to agree that this is an issue that we can eradicate through policy and understanding. And I hope that you got a really good empathy bone to flex. If not, work it out, work on it, build it, muscle memory, boys, okay? And really take care of each other during this time. It's very hectic, confusing, and disillusioning. And though a lot of people might be scared at the moment, fear is a very natural and understandable emotion, but it's a cop-out, and you gotta face it directly, digest that boy, and poop out a nice little empathy turd. And because that's how we move past our fears. We educate ourselves, we go out to what we're scared of, and we address it head on and give it a big old F you with love or whatever. Yeah, get political and hang in there. Thank you for watching.